everyone. I hope everybody had a happy Easter. We're back. We're going to do some spring crafts. I got the Dollar Tree fence, and what we're doing is going to cut the stakes off the fence, and we're going to cut each individual fence piece off. I used a knife, and then I used scissors. So it was a little better to score it first and then cut it with the scissors. It made it a little easier. And then we are going to take it outside and we're going to give it a coat of spray paint. Okay, this is after the spray paint. We painted it a bronzish color. And I'm taking some gray, some black, and some brown, just the regular craft store paints. And we're going to take the little sponge daubers and we're just going to daub the tops of them. We're going to daub both sides of them. We're going to daub the front side and the back side. And while it's still wet, I'm just showing you here the back side. It's a little harder to get the back side because it's like ridged on the back. So that's why I have the other one, so you can get down into the grooves of it. But while it's still wet, come on, Kim. We're going to take some cinnamon and we're going to liberally sprinkle the cinnamon onto the wet paint. And this is going to give it a rusted effect. And you'd be surprised. It sticks pretty good to the wet paint. Like, I know there's a lot of cinnamon on the table right now, but after you're done, I took a brush and tried to brush some of it off and it just wasn't coming off. And it makes it really look like rust. But you want to do both the front and the back with the different colored paints to give it that variegated look. And then you want to take the cinnamon while it's still wet and sprinkle that on. And there you go. Yeah, I must have missed showing you this, but there's a hinge and the stakes that go into the hinge. I put that together first and then okay, we have some of this nautical rope and it doesn't really go with the color of the lantern. So what I did is I took some of the antique wax and a foam brush and I just brushed it on. Now, I don't know what happened to this, but this is just one of those wooden boxes that they come out with every season, every holiday at the dollar store. They have little sayings in them or whatever. And I just gave it a coat of the white chalk paint and now I'm just going over it with the antique wax. You're not going to really end up seeing very much of this box at all. So if you wanted to skip this part, you could. You really don't even need to do the inside or the outside because what we're going to do is once this nautical rope, once I stain it with the antique wax, we are going to glue it from all the way around the box. And so you won't even see it. And here's what the nautical rope looked like after I had put the antique stain on it. It's a little darker, not much. You could probably use brown paint if you wanted to. I just had the antique stain from doing the box, so that's what I used. And now I'm taking the stained rope and I'm just starting at the bottom and wrapping it around. And instead of just going up, I actually glue it down and then I use my shears to cut it off. And here we are just wrapping the rope around and we get to we did three rows of rope. And we get to the end and we just cut it off so it makes it a nice square box instead of wrapping it around like a circle. That rope's tough. So I glue it down and then we're going to move on and, oh, I'm just trimming up the excess hairy rope. And then we're going to take our two sections and we're going to, I think this is the hinge section because it's easier to work with. We're going to glue it on top of the nautical rope. Just put a line of glue down and we're going to just glue it right on top of the nautical rope. It's not in the box. Now I'm just adding a little bit more glue to give it a little bit more stability. And then I'm taking the second section and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take some glue, put it on the nautical rope and the box, and take our section of fence that's glued together. And then we're going to actually glue the two sections together. And here's the other one. And it'll give us a nice squared lantern. Now I'm just putting a little bit more glue down just to give it a little bit more hold, and we'll move on. So after I had it all put together, I thought it needed something more than just the nautical rope. So I bought the metal ribbon from the Dollar Tree a while ago, and I have never had an opportunity to use it. So I was like, you know what, we could probably put it on the bottom, and it was the perfect size. But right now I'm going to cut some of the floral foam, my favorite stuff in the world, and I am going to just glue it down to the bottom of the lantern. Then I have some florals from Michael's, Dollar Tree, all over, and we're going to put them in there. But here I am with the metal ribbon. It's kind of hard to use because the hot glue comes right through it. Heats it up pretty good too. But I ended up not burning myself, and we're just going to wrap it around the bottom, just giving it a little bit more of a lantern look. Sorry about that, I hit the camera with the ribbon. And we're going to do it on all four sides, and when we get to the end, we're just going to glue it down, and we're going to cut it off, and I never glued the floral foam down, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the floral foam, and we are going to eventually glue it to the box. So we finally got the metal ribbon on the bottom of the lantern, and now we're going to actually glue the floral foam pieces into the bottom of the box. And so they're glued down, and we're going to take some of the Dollar Tree Spanish moss. We're going to tuck it into those blank spaces. I think I end up gluing it down eventually, but right now I was just seeing how it worked out. And I put this candle in there so we could leave that space blank, because we want to be able to have the candle sit flat on the floral foam. And I'm just wrapping these up and gluing them down around the candle on top of the floral foam, just to give it a nice overall look. Cover up that green. Get that all cleaned up. Okay, now we're going to take our greenery and our berries and some of our flowers, and we're just going to start arranging it and poking it into the floral foam that's underneath the Spanish moss. We have some flowers there, and we just cut different lengths, different styles of the flowers, different styles of the greenery, and whatever looks good. I'm not a flower arranger, that's for sure. So I'm just putting in there the way I think looks good. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever colors you want. And as long as it's in the floral foam, it's going to stick. So I think I put a couple more flowers in just to give it some of the white among the green and the white berries. And we're pretty much done. And there's your lantern. Whoop, the flower fell out. Stick it back in there somewhere, Kim. There you go. And oh, I guess I thought I needed more berries. But anyway, we're arranging the flowers the way it looks good, and we're pretty much done with the whole thing. And I hope you guys like this one. Obviously, I had fun doing it. If you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll be doing some more spring crafts coming up. Thank you. Bye.